President Trump slammed Oakland, California Mayor Libby Schaaf for her warning to illegals before an impending ICE raid.
And the mayor of Oakland goes out and notifies when ICE is going in to pick them up. And many of them were criminals with criminal records and very dangerous people. What happened, as an example, in Oakland was a disgrace to our nation.
A disgrace to our nation. Well, now Angel parents whose children were killed by illegals are calling for the mayor to be prosecuted for her actions. Jamil Shaw Sr. lost his 17-year-old son, Jazz, in 2008 when he was murdered by an illegal on the way home from a football game. It's a terrible story. In that picture, you saw his father, Jamil Shaw Sr., who joins us right now live from Los Angeles. Jamil, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve.
I'm sure that when you heard the news that the mayor had warned people who were in the country illegally, hey, I've heard there might be an ICE raid, you better hide, what'd you think?
You know, it was just disgusting, you know, because, you know, her job is to protect the citizens, the American citizens, you know, and for her to take a stand like that, she's allowing Americans to be murdered. I mean, she has blood on her hands because she could have easily just let them go into the jail system and capture those criminals, but she allowed them to come out, and then for people to be murdered and raped and robbed and identity theft. That's all on her and people like her.
I understand a number of the Angel parents like yourselves would like to see her prosecuted. For what?
Yeah, well, for aiding and abetting, you know, for putting our lives in danger. Because right now you're hearing everybody demanding to be safe in their schools and their communities. When our kids are murdered and we demand to be safe, we're all racist and we're all bigots. And, you know, because we know Trump supports us, we're all bad people. But when their kids are dead, then all of a sudden, you know, they're shutting down the city and they want all these gun laws and stuff like that. The guy who killed my son was on his third gun charge. But they don't care if illegal aliens carry guns and kill our kids.
Jamil, you were sitting in Los Angeles, which is a sanctuary city in a sanctuary state. How many people in California actually like the fact that people who are in this country illegally can live there without fear of prosecution, being deported in many cases?
Pretty much none of them. They have all these polls. I have never, my son been dead 10 years. I haven't been involved in no polls. I don't know anyone that's been involved in the polls. If they really want to know how we feel, take a vote in California and ask the people, do you want to allow illegals into our country? And you will find out that it's always no. Years ago, we voted against it, and they found a wacko judge to throw it out. A lot of black people are upset that L.A. is being rebuilt with illegal alien labor, and blacks are just being shut out. None of the black politicians care. All they care about is votes. We're just being sold out.
Well, you've painted a really horrible story. It sounds like you make it sound like these politicians in California just want to continue in power and have people vote for them to the exclusion of people's safety.
Oh, yeah, and that's what they're doing. When my son was murdered, they put 11 ICE agents in the county jail so that wouldn't happen again. A year or so later, they voted and took them all out. And then they won't even let ICE do their jobs on the street. And then they wonder why the so-called innocent illegals that are being rounded up, what do you expect? People like me demand justice. We want deportations. We want the gangs all out of here. We want to go in the county jail and get them. If they don't want to do it, if they get caught in the net, that's clearly on them.
Yeah. Were you listening about 20 minutes ago? We played a soundbite with Nancy Pelosi yesterday, who said that she had seen the prototypes for the wall, and she said they were too tall. We don't have that in a civilized society. What do you think of that?
If they would have had one, it was, you know, Nancy Pelosi, she's crazy anyway, Nancy Pelosi, everybody knows she is. But if they would have had a wall like that, maybe the people who brought their illegal alien son over here to murder my son, it would never happen. But she doesn't care. But I guarantee you, if somebody in her family was murdered by an illegal, I guarantee you she would go hog wild building a wall to the moon if she had to.
Well, you know how horrible it is. Personally, Jamil Shaw Sr. joined us today from LA with your story. Jamil, thank you.